Stampede Wrestling was a pro wrestling league founded by Stu Hart and mainly ran shows in Alberta and Saskatchewan in Western Canada. Some of pro wrestling's biggest stars came through Stampede Wrestling. One of the very best pro wrestlers ever, Dynamite Kid, was one of Stampede's biggest stars. The positive impact he made on the wrestling world is immeasurable, especially during his best years from 1979 through 1983. Wrestling's glory years of Stampede Wrestling and the Dynamite Kid are gone, but current wrestling fans have the wonderful opportunity to watch Dynamite Kid's nephew, Tommy Billington, in action. The young Billington not only shares the same name as his uncle, Dynamite Kid Tom Billington, but he even started using the same nickname, Dynamite Kid, after the legendary Bret Hart advised him to do so because he recognized that Tommy resembles his uncle so much. Billington is one of the most talented wrestlers in the world today, and those who were fortunate enough to attend Dungeon Wrestling's November Pain show on November 10th had the opportunity to see Billington in action. One of the co-founders of Dungeon Wrestling, a league based in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, is local hero Bret Hitman Hart. Another one of the co-founders is Kid Chocolate, Jabari, and he was Billington's opponent in this much-anticipated match. Jabari was trained by Hart Brothers Wrestling Camp graduate Lance Storm and has been wrestling since 2017. Jabari is also a protege of Bret Hart's, and you can tell he has been influenced by the Hitman's style of wrestling. Tommy Billington started his pro wrestling career in 2018. After having wrestled on indie shows in England, Wales, Scotland, Austria, and Italy, Billington made his Canadian wrestling debut in 2022 when he started wrestling on indie shows in Alberta. Later that year, he made his American wrestling debut at an MLW show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In June of 2024, Billington made his Japanese pro wrestling debut for Kyushu Pro. Even fans of mainstream wrestling have had the opportunity to see Billington in action. Billington made his AEW debut on May the 11th, 2024 in Vancouver, BC against Dex Harwood. Billington once again appeared in AEW on July 10th in Calgary, Alberta, Canada at the Saddle Dome. At an AEW taping in Wales on August the 21st, Billington wrestled Chris Jericho. Billington even appeared on AEW All In, which was held at Wembley Stadium in London, England, as Billington participated in a 16-man tag team match that took place during the pre-show. Over the past several months and years, Billington had shown that he clearly had lots of potential, but it was in November of 2024 that he really showed that he was top talent, as he really stepped up his game and worked a really good match. Billington's Dungeon Wrestling match at November Pain wasn't his first match against Jabari, as the two had wrestled each other before at indie shows in Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario. In the very same building where this match from November 10th, 2024 took place, the Victoria Pavilion in Calgary, Bret Hart had several memorable matches with Dynamite Kid back in the late 1970s and early 1980s. What Mo and Tommy were able to do here was to have a match that was reminiscent of those Stampede classics. What was particularly impressive about Billington's work in this match was that he was able to show more intensity than ever before, which was a big plus, since that was exactly one of his uncle's main strengths. Jabari deserves credit for showing that he really was in tune with the ebb and flow of the match, as he knew what to do at the right moment, which is something he learned by studying the Hitman's work. Billington mostly focused on explosiveness and tenacity, while Jabari mainly was able to capitalize by countering and countering counters. One of the coolest sequences of the match was Billington doing the Dynamite Kid style front roll kick-up combo. Soon after, Jabari took a big Harley race-like bump in the corner that sent him over the top to the floor after Billington reversed an Irish whip attempt. Billington showed some more of his viciousness by attacking Jabari on the floor. Billington continued the viciousness when the action continued in the ring. Billington executed a ruthless powerbomb that was very Wild Pegasus-like. Billington was now in full control of the match. However, Jabari made it clear that he didn't plan on staying down, and things could go either way again. One of the moves Billington executed to perfection was the Dynamite Kid style snap suplex, made famous by his uncle. The match was never slow, but they really picked up the pace even more during the final 5 minutes of the match, which were also the most spectacular minutes, with both men displaying a tremendous will to win. This final stretch period of the match, which featured several tremendous moves, felt like it came very naturally, as a natural progression to everything else they did before, which is something you don't see very often anymore these days. It was a very exciting match. Neither wrestler could really stay in control for too long, as it was a very competitive bout that went back and forth. Both workers clearly gave their best effort here, and it resulted in a very memorable match. These two modern talents showed that they could still be modern while implementing the logic and passion their old school influences had shown time and time again in this historical building they were now delivering a modern classic at. This was embodied and exemplified on many occasions in this match. Billington really started channeling his uncle's energy and delivered his best performance to date. The finish was reminiscent of Dynamite Kid vs. Randy Savage from the Wrestling Classic pay-per-view in November of 1985. Billington protested, but the referee awarded the match to Jabari anyway. Hopefully we'll get to see another match between Tommy and Mo in the near future at the Victoria Pavilion, as this was indeed a very good match. I give this match a rating of 3.75 out of 5 stars.